lovely little scene here on quarantine clearings with the guinea fowl. And the guinea fowl, of course, are an important thing to take inspiration from for the 10 to 8 race that is going to take place probably on these very clearings. The guinea fowl is a very fast runner. I'm going to try and take some inspiration from that in my attempt to beat Brent Longlegs in the 50-meter dash. I think we're about 40 minutes away from the great race. Just do some stretches. Make sure that I'm limbered up. Of course, Brent is much younger than I. Need to make sure that I'm in fine fettle. Brent is a little bit like, if we could liken it to vehicles, he's like a sort of, he's like an, what's he like? He's sort of like a, I suppose, this is going to sound unkind, but he's a bit like a car that's made by a new car manufacturer. Don't really know what they're doing. They put all of the kind of all of the bits and pieces that should make for an incredibly fast and powerful vehicle into one machine, but haven't necessarily attached them all in the correct fashion. And certainly over a few years of use, some of those pieces seem to be malfunctioning, but when they come together, should they come together, the effect will be astounding. I am more likened to an older model of vehicle, and definitely nothing like these Land Rovers, possibly more finely tuned at the moment, but you know what you're going to get out of it, you know? And so my race today will be entirely predictable. Brent's, as is the want with his character, will be entirely unpredictable. So let's see. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens. Look at the Juma Dam camp. Now you see Kachino, John, you see, I think this might be a mistake of yours. You say that I do a bit more exercise than Brent, and Brent doesn't look too athletic. That is true. But Brent was a very fine athlete in his day. And like I say, you just never know what you're going to get. He might fall over at the first step, but he might also run the first 50 meters in Usain Bolt speed. So we just don't know with him. His hip might pop out after 10 meters. He's also so competitive that even if he had to drag his hip along, I suspect he'd still finish. Look at the Juma Dam camp. Very kind of you to put your money on me, Kachino, John. That's very sweet. Hope it will not be misplaced. Now you see Lewis and Buffalo, you're probably correct. You think I'm setting myself up for bruising. Yeah, I may well be. It was inevitable, though, that once Brent had raced Andrew, it was inevitable that there had to be some kind of race-off. And it'll be embarrassing for one of us. One of us will be very pleased at the end of it. And as Andrew said to me yesterday, you have to beat Brent simply because if you don't, we'll never hear the end of it. Camp Soulcat, and for all viewers, you want to know if there's a drive tomorrow or this evening, and will there be one tomorrow? Absolutely, there will be one this evening. There will be one tomorrow morning. Its quality I cannot verify because obviously it is New Year's Eve tonight. I think this may well be the first year in about 20 that I don't see the new year in. And that will simply be because to get up at 03:45 is deeply, deeply unpleasant when you've gone to bed at 12 o'clock in the morning. So, yes, there will be a drive tomorrow morning. But Jamie and I will be on base, and Jamie and I will be on base from this afternoon. Of course, Brent is going on leave. So, the race today will be his final act of this particular work cycle. So remember, he can put everything into it now. It's not the same ones. I would also like you to point out to Brent the next time you see him, everyone, that he claimed to find some elephants, but they were exactly the same elephants that I'd found earlier. There's a Wahlberg's eagle, a pale fawn Wahlberg's, probably from the nest just near camp, going out for a morning forage. Here we have a little herd. I'll just move a little bit forward, and I'm not going to go blasting off road after them. It's very thick in here. Brent Smith is now hailing me on the radio. I suspect he's getting excited, you see. Let me get hold of him. And go ahead. He would like to know what time I'd like him to wipe the dirt with my face. Brent, I think that we should meet at 7:45 on quarantine clearance in the old touch rugby field. Brent is currently on quarantine clearing, scoping the most even piece of ground. He says he's woken up everybody who was asleep and in the camp, including Jamie, and it's just to come and show everybody how he's going to wipe my face in the dirt. I'm now starting to feel quite nervous. There's now a poll on Twitter as to who is going to win this race, so please go and vote. Hashtag SafariLIVE. I can't believe how far this has gone. This is terrible. Anyway, back to the elephants. There's a breeding herd of elephants here, which I can't concentrate on. A cow to the left, a young, very happily confiding one to the right under the knobthorn tree there, and everybody seems very relaxed. And I think it's just simply a function of the fact that they would have heard us coming from a long way off. They didn't perceive us as a threat, which is wonderful, and they're just very quietly feeding through here. She's moving a Ziziphus tree out the way. Tibbs, who do you think is going to win the race?
No, probably you.
That's very kind of you, Tibbs. I think you're just saying that because we're both short. You're hoping I'll win.
I'm faster.
Goodness gracious, is a very kind poll on Twitter saying 66% reckon that I will win, 34% reckon Brent. Well, that's very kind. I'm certainly not that convinced. And we'll hand you over to Brent. He's going to show you his preparations for the track and tell you what happened to Karula and where she is. We'll see you shortly.
So, welcome back. quick update on Karula, the Queen of Juma. She is still lying in the tree in the exact same position we left her. There's a very strong possibility she will cross into Juma before the sunset safari. So it'll be up to the J&J, James and Jamie, to try and find her. As you can see, I'm on the western edge of quarantine. Here is the finish line of the race. I am fully prepared. I've even worn a lighter shirt so I can move faster than James can. And of course he's going to come here, and I've measured out 50 steps, and he's going to say my steps are unfair because my legs are longer, and he's going to have to try and measure them himself. In his defense, one of my steps is 2 of his, so we will see what he has to say when he gets here. But I'm quite looking forward to this now. I thought James was being a little bit ridiculous, taking this so seriously. Andrew and I just had a fun race, but now this has become, what would you call it, Andrew?
A challenge.
A challenge.
Sorts.
He has challenged my manhood, and shame. He has been getting a bit big for his boots for a while now, so we just need to cut him down a little bit. Oh! You people! There's a poll on Twitter, 63% say James. Shame, that's just because you feel sorry for the little guy. But we will see. The answer will happen shortly. I think James is coming to check the track at 15 minutes to 8, a quarter to 8. And then we shall be sprinting shortly after that. James is obviously feeling quite confident. He's got to talk himself up somehow there. The starting point is just beyond those terminalias. We do have a few Impala watching behind, and I have made a point of waking up everyone else who is in camp so we can get a bit of an audience. I need cheerleaders, and of course Jamie will be there clapping me on. So I actually have a head cheerleader, and that's for all you haters out there who don't think I'm going to win. But the track is set. In the meantime, I'm going to go see if I can find some baby wildebeests before we decide to start racing each other in a highly infantile and juvenile masculine display of manhood. But we shall do it anyway because we are here to keep you entertained. But we shall do it anyway because we are here to keep you entertained. And the funny thing about boys is it doesn't matter how old they get, they still pretty much the same as they were when they were 12 years old. For the birders, just in case no one has. Oh, it flew, Andrew. You got it where it's going? Yes. So back end of the spike form. So zoom, 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 left a little bit, left. There we go, zoom in there. Now finding it's going to be an interesting thing. It was a little grey-headed sparrow. I don't know, not one I've shown on camera too often. So I thought for everyone's bird list, it might be a nice one. Let's go see if we can find it again. James, the musician, apparently has found a soundtrack for a race. I'm hoping it's Chariots of Fire, but I'm quite sure, knowing James, it's something slightly more ridiculous. Oh, it is Chariots of Fire! It is Chariots of Fire. So for those of you who are South African, when James and I were kids, there was a wonderful tyre advert that consisted of a Staffordshire Terrier running a race against much faster dogs. It was tough and he won. And the slow-mo of the Staffordshire Terrier running to Chariots of Fire has probably been ingrained in all South Africans of my age. Andrew, you remember it? Dun, 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 with a big Staffy jumping. So there we go. We'll get Andrew to do the soundtrack.
Yes.
So we're going to have... Dirty Nightmare on Twitter thinks Scott would beat us both, but we'll have to test that. Unfortunately, I know for a fact he wouldn't. For those of you who know about rugby, Scott is what you would call a forward. So he played with the big thugs in the front row, or he was a flanker. James was a scrum half, and I varied my position mostly at number 10 at fly half, although I did have quite a few games at fullback as well. The reason James played scrum half is because he was too small to play anywhere else in the team. To give you an idea, I weigh about 210 pounds and 6'3", and I was the second smallest person in my rugby team. We had a prop, which is basically, I think, if you apply it to American football. Oh, Andrew, are you up for it? No, it's gone behind us. Will it come back? It's going to come back in front. It's a barn swallow. Oh, it's going further and further away. Might come back. Also known as a European swallow. There you go, flying straight at us. James hasn't arrived. I think he is scared. We can't see him anywhere. I think we might have to call the whole thing off. He has found the cheerleaders. He is escorting towards us. So let's get into position. Andrew will be doing the sound, his best rendition of Chariots of Fire. James Henry will be eating dust. Oh, James has it on his phone. We're going to play it on the microphone. This is getting slightly ridiculous now. It's amazing what boys will do. I, of course, need to rush to do some stretches. I know James has been so worried he's been stretching all morning. And he'll probably try change the race location to throw me, but I'm not easily swayed or thrown by sudden changes. Andrew, how's that look for you? Have you got enough of the finish line?
Yes, perfect.
Perfect. Andrew says it's perfect. And also, I know James, he's got very soft feet, so he shall be doing this race in shoes. I, however, shall be doing it barefoot. So I'm just going to have to change my radio channel to James because he's lost. He can't find quarantine clearings. That's how scared he is. James ingene emoyen. James, come around towards the western side of quarantine, the main road that goes through the middle. The most straight and even running surface I could find. So I can run barefoot and not in sandals. So I have let him know exactly where it is. Don't worry, I'll move my shoes away so you don't have to look at them during the race. So let's go across to James and he can lead you in while I do my warm-ups.
Of course, I'm now feeling dreadfully nervous, everyone. We're going to the western side of quarantine, where Brent Leo Smith has set the track up. I'm not sure that's entirely fair. And of course, this will be the soundtrack to our race today. Not sure if you can hear it. The old Vangelis classic, of course, Chariots of Fire. I managed to find this on my cell phone. I'm not sure how it got there. Quite appropriate soundtrack as we approach the final reckoning of the 50-meter dash Junior Championship. Anna Marie, it is untrue that I was a soccer coach. I am worse at soccer than than I am at any other game I've ever played. I was a rugby coach for a little while though. I see you, Brent, Leo Smith's vehicle up ahead. Brent, of course, has been warming up now for about half an hour. One car at the finish line. Okay, we'll put Tibbs there horizontal. How far are we running? How far are we running?
50 steps.
50 steps.
I'm sure you will.
Oh, this is terrifying, everybody. I'm feeling slightly inspired by the music though. It's not a really long race, this. On Twitter, you say Brent is going to be tripped by a dung beetle. I think that will be the case. No, we're playing Chariots of Fire at the moment. Right, the poll on Twitter, Brent, is that 65 say I will win. 35 that you will win. I don't think that's long enough. I think getting to reverse back 10 meters. Right, everybody, here we go. Right, CBS Johnson, you would like us to sing the South African national anthem.
Don't want me to sing.
Brent sings like Corvus the Crow, which is not a good thing. Okay, right, here we go. Everybody, we're not doing the anthem. Right, Brent, you're going live now.
Okay, we're going across to Andrew.
You're live.
You want to run towards Andrew or away from Andrew?
I know we're going.
This is the finish line. Do you want to step it out with me, James? We need to give Andrew the phone to me. Phone to me with Andrew.
No,
okay.
You can stop.
You happy to step it out? James chose the wrong outfit. He's wearing heavy khaki clothing. I went for a more streamlined. See? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. What happens to the shoes? 11, 12, 13.
1920s,
45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52.
All right, that'll do.
Okay.
Now, who's going to start the race? Andrew?
I can start the race.
You'll have to start the race, and Jerry, of course, will have to cross over to Tibbs for the finish.
And we're not going to have comms with Jerry, I'm afraid, because running with radios is slower.
Right, I'm taking my shoes off. I'm considering taking my heavy shirt off as well, but I think
you would love it if James took his shirt
would be
off.
terrified if I did that. Remove my heavy belt.
I did mention to the viewers this is probably the most infantile and juvenile display of masculinity that has ever happened in the Sabi Sands.
Okay, we're going old school.
Take your shirt off.
On your marks, get set, go.
Remember what we discussed, Andrew?
No cheating. I'm even going to show you my bald spot, everybody. That is how concerned I am about this. Are you doing a standing start, or are you doing a...
We can do a standing start. I don't mind.
Start.
Standing start suits me.
Right. When you're ready, Andrew.
On your marks, get set, go!
Radio.
to my comms quickly.
Sorry about that.
They did give you a little bit of hope there.
They did give me a bit of hope.
But you also got to see James Henry without his shirt on.
That is an unpleasant thing to see. It's just a great mass of hair.
We were just catching our breath.
Right.
I unfortunately did do myself an injury there. At least my hip stayed in place.
I'm now obviously going to go and lie under a bush and feel sorry for myself. Right, we'll see you back at breakfast.
Yes. You might want to carbo load before the next race.
Yes, here we go. It's not going to end ever.
Oh, James, you started this.
I did not.
You did start this.
I did not.
Andrew and I had a nice friendly little race, and you had to come get competitive.
See you later.
As James
Well done.
Henry walks away in disgust, I shall saunter back to my vehicle. My hamstring, I'm afraid, is going to need some deep rubbing after this. But thank you for joining us today. Wonderful for Andrew and myself. On our last day, we did get to see Karula, even if it was just briefly. Still trying to catch my breath. Oh, shame. Look at him walk away. Poor man. Oh, and the peanut gallery arrives late. There they are to the left. Gerald in final control. How many meters did I win by? And Gerald, I'm on the same channel as James, in case you are wondering. So I'm no longer on one. Oh. I'm not sure which of us is live, which is not. We are live here, Andrew and myself. So we are on leave. This is our last drive of 2015, and it's been an absolutely amazing year. And I think I can say for Andrew and myself, it's been an absolute pleasure to have joined you and joined the SafariLIVE team. And some incredible sightings, some great friends made, and we will see you in 2016. So we're just going to go to James so he can say adieu, and Andrew and I will see you next year.
Of course, I cannot look Brent Smith in the face ever again after that. It is as I suspected. And while it was quite a close thing in the end, I got the distinct impression that Leo Smith was backing off towards the end. So probably even faster than he looks, really. I will now have to probably mainline some Prozac in order to get over the depression of losing. It's going to be a tough start to the new year, everybody. It's going to be a tough start.
Is this how it felt, James?
You see, this is how it's going to go for the rest of time now. He's going to be like this for possibly the next 40 years.
Bye.
Eating his dust. I feel so sick. Putrid. Anyway. Have to think of something to get him back. So thank you to all of you for watching that ridiculously, as Brent said, puerile example of manhood. And thank you all of you for being with us throughout this year, actually. And I hope you all have a magnificent new year. Big thanks to Tebs on camera. Thank you to Andrew on the other camera. Brent can go and take a flying jump. A big thanks to Geraldine, of course, as well. And we will see you later this afternoon. 4 o'clock, and I hope that whatever you're going to be doing for your New Year's will be a great celebration, unlike I think many of us who over New Year's try and find a great celebration to have and often just have one for the sake of it. That will not be happening this year. Okay, that's it from us. We'll see you not next year, we'll see you at 4 o'clock this afternoon. Stay safe and happy wherever you are. See you then. Bye-bye.